Leonardo DiCaprio may be the heir to River Phoenix acting-wise, but the boy is living proof of the adage, white man can't dribble. At a recent screening of DiCaprio's new movie, The Basketball Diaries, press types were appalled by DiCaprio's palming, inept passing, palming the ball when you dribble, which is illegal, and general lack of a game. He's more convincing as a drug addict than a basketball player. One reviewer. So this is just called, this is called Just Visiting. When the shooting broke, it's about basically a guy fucks up, he tries to rob a bank and is totally inept at it. I wrote it before Dog Day Afternoon, I swear, but it's very much like that. And it's like in the first person of this guy. When the shooting broke, I decided to vault the teller's window and face the fire from the other side. They saw my forearm tightening across the throat of the cashier, Ms. Lattimore, and as my Browning was raised to her temple's pulse, they took it back. It all fell dead. With the silence, I felt the distance between my trigger and the man. I heard the reverberation of the last stray bullet's muffled ring. It moved out through my brain in circles of jagged light, expanding like still water broken by a stone. Some smart young lieutenant arrived to take things over. The shooting stopped. He leaned his eyes a moment through the doors in front, then went around back to throw the switch. Light rolled out of thin vapor tubes above me from right to left. The darkness absorbed more silence. I could hear their details being assigned. The tone of the head man's voice was clear. They were hot to blow me away. I didn't expect my hostage would go down as a deal. I knew she signed that paper when she took the job. But I just wanted some last contact. I would have rather some sweet, clever music. I slid the strap to her bra, I reached under, I felt my palm rinse her breast. It could have been a radio. I moved my lips closer so only she could hear me. It should have been a radio. Whispering, I told her, you see, all my life, the women I have been with, and that's more than you can imagine, really. I always bypassed that breast. I went down, I went to the source. I honestly don't think you're going to die, so don't be afraid. Listen to me. I wanted the thunder on my fingers, on my lips. What are a woman's breasts? It's just so much adornment. They lie like some chalice on an altar waiting for adoration. Like the writing on the scroll, the handles on the urn, the gold that lines the vessel. I wanted the mystery inside, the thunder and the darkest light. I mean, feel the sharpness of your nipple. It is flawless, no doubt about that. Here, just let me move it over there. Oh, it came out. It's so red. You must be younger than you appear. I know about that kind of thing, really. Once I told this girl she had breasts like bleeding limes. She thought that was a beautiful thing to say. But what are they? It's just architecture. Where is the wetness? And why are they so white? So terribly white. Whiteness frightens me horribly. When I was 14 years old, I went to my friend's house at the beach in Long Island. The sun there on the sand, I couldn't stand it. It was terrible. Too much whiteness. I stayed in my friend's room for days and listened to music. His mother and his fat sister thought me quite insane. I wanted to teach myself to play the drums. I listened to the Dave Clark Five. His sister was 36 years old and so fat the mother had to tie the laces on her shoes. I hated her and she hated me. But I was just visiting, so it wasn't very fair. One day I bolted out of the bathroom while she was listening, leaning up to the door, and I jammed a pencil into her jaw. She ran away crying about lead poisoning, but you really can't get lead poisoning that way. That's a wives' tale. I know about that kind of thing, really. At night, when the shadows canceled that blinding white, I'd go down to the beach and run because it is important to keep the body well. That's in case they ever come again. You, I'm sure, don't concern yourself much worrying about them, do you? You know, your breasts are like that beach, so white and dry, yet so near to the source, the water and the motion of the waves. What could ever be more pure? Please, allow me to just feel down here. I won't try to sneak anything up the wrong hole. I know that can hurt if you're not used to it. They did it to me. I let them think I didn't care, but I hid in a closet down at the end of the cell block. I hid in it and I learned things that made marks on my forearm with a fork I snuck from the cafeteria. You could see here the scars. That's not just an X. It's actually an image of the cross St. Peter died on. They nailed him to it inverted, upside down. He's my patron saint. I know about that stuff, really. There it is. And it's wet. Is that from fear? Wetness is not whiteness, but it's so dark. Whiteness is the color of death, you know, not black. Wetness is life, the breeder and shaper of life. In the beginning, the sun was black, so all light was absorbed before it had a chance to return. And our dreams then were empty. This is what it exactly was, a message left on a phone machine. I am the river phantom rocking your bed, the confluence and head, the inventor of pearl. Aligned with your retina, your vision is locked into my vortex. I pull you in and you descend down my tongue and wash back. You will always be a slave to my velocity, vibrate slow or fast. It is the same as both together as one. I speak for the past. I speak for you, lucid and licentious. I speak for the future and the sun. All other intimacies will be imitations. Their interferons cannot interfere with the course I steer. Your certainty is dust to me. You think you could rearrange fate, but I churn too deep. You'll always be trapped luminous in my vectors, the vicarious essence of a tragic chorus. I mean, how far do you imagine you can go from my undertow? I am the one drop of clarity in the mist you have created by your schemes and dreams. I am the only certainty left by your expedience. I am the white water rushing through the canyon. You thought you could cross as I was sleeping, but you underestimated the force of my waves. My water holds the wetness that never dries, and you will drip forever with an intractable longing. Caught now in my current, in a whirlpool lasting lifetimes, no matter who else you were with, no matter what fucking joker.com mediocre. No matter where you go, no matter, you will always be moving between my banks. I am the unscented water that never dries. Your will is one with the force of my flow, the whims of my white-capped rhythms, the warmth of my complete enveloping. I know you, I feel you through the rhythms of your fears. You will float a lifetime through me, attached to the course I steer. You think you can count on another's countercurrent? That was fantasy, and this is elemental, and I don't care. I keep moving. What made your fantasy fix on a pretty pond? Stagnant, lukewarm, and blonde. I am the fucking river, fool! In my wake, the demons and gods rest and spike. I am the force of your life, your safety and danger as one, your flooding embrace. You better reach for its space before you are swept away. If only you could rely on me to carry you through the threshold, rocks and jetties, with an endurance that does not end until it meets an ocean that rises with the sun. Sun's sent away. I'm the one who is gone with nothing left to say. Yeah.